We're really happy today to kind of interpret the theme of pattern into music. We're very happy that Praveen Alva is here today. We, I think, are personally interested to knowing one important thing: how do you manage two careers? Because he's an architect by day and maybe through the rest of the day or maybe the whole day also a musician. He has a band called as Alva Kuto, which is primarily to do with preservation of Tulu. So they sing songs in Tulu and compose. So we're trying to understand what pattern means to him in his compositions. So everything else is in his PPT, so I'm not going to say much more. I'm really happy today to invite you, Praveen.
Hello. ஜப்பூலே என்னவால கண்ணீர் காடனே ஆகாசன் தோஜு பாது நக்ஷத்ரன் கேனடே பெச்சாத்துட ஆசிகேடு இனி ராத்திர கரிப்புலே பப்பு கார்த்தி கோபு நீரு अर्गंटिड गोबड़े लाली जो लाली जो लाली जो लाली जो Siravano Musku pad Japule Surya Chandra Bolline Ateir Nadule Yanna Siravano Musku pad Japule Surya Chandra Bolline Ateir Nadule Lali jo Lali jo Lali jo Lali jo Repule ennavale kannir paadade आकाशन तुझ पाद नक्षत्रन के नडे बेचा तुड़ आसिगेड इनी रात्र करी पुले बब्बू कार्ति गोबु नीर अर्गंटिड गोबड़े लाली जो लाली जो लाली जो लाली जो Okay. What's the next slide, please? Okay, that's my grandma. And this is a song which came to me in 2015. This is the first song I have written. Before that, I had no clue that I could write songs in Tulu. I had written few songs in Hindi, English before that. And for some sort of an experiment, I thought I'll write in Tulu. And the song which came to me is this. It's called Lali Jo. It's a lullaby. And I imagine my grandmother putting me to sleep. It was so powerful that, it just shook everything that I had or everything that I understood about myself, the conditioned mind, the experiences, the self-belief, the confidence, everything was put into perfect perspective. It's not that I got clarity. Actually, it threw a stone in my comfort, calm mind, It just just shook me to my course. And after that, it was really unsettling. Yeah, my grandmom, she's like a big source of whatever I am today. And this is sort of a timeline. I was born in 1985, and around 2015, I got this song. And it is 30 years. 30 years of a lived experience of accumulated life. And this song, out of nowhere, just bypassed everything and just appeared. And yeah, and it took me some time to understand this, the power of what had just happened through me. And when Kari told me about find patterns in the songwriting, so this I found is a nice exercise to go back and accumulate and just present in a way that how does the song appear to me. And pardon me if at any point it feels narcissistic, because the thing about creation is that you have to look within, what sort of life you live, what you learn, what you've seen, what you experience, and through that model you find creation. So this is just my exercise to explain you what did it take to, and for my own understanding, okay, how did this song come to me. So the important thing about creation is that I figured out that there are just two things to this. One is the source material of what you writing on. If you're a screenplay writer, if you're a dancer, if you're a singer, if you're a painter, everyone has a personal source that we accumulated consciously, subconsciously, uh, uh, through active participation or by subconscious. We keep accumulating things through years, and this becomes a source, and it is different to each other. Each of us, through our own life, has this source, and it is very private to us. My brother doesn't have the same source as me. Even the fact we are grown together in the same house, same parents, but our sources are different. So one is the important thing about the source, and the next thing is about the skill. Like, what is your skill set? So if you're a painter, you'll have a different skill set. If you're a singer, if you have a different skill set. If you're a filmmaker, your skill sets are different. But that source and that skill is what creates a personal creative work. So looking at the source, I'll just display it, or show it to you what are my sources, and how does these songs come to me. So I kind of categorized in terms of my life lived in Bangalore. That is between 85 to 2004. After that, I set out to study, and my life in Belgaum, where I spent beautiful 5 years. And after that, coming to Bangalore. So these three cities, and this that becomes my major collective source of creation. So these are my folks, my parents. My dad he was a police constable. My mom was a housewife. Because I'm a Bund, we are a matrilineal society. We have most of our things connected to our mother's side, except the surnames. Surnames are dad's, but all the other things like rituals, or what your family festivals are, it's more connected. So as you see by the photo, I'm biased towards my mother's side of family. That's my grandmother and her 6 children. So this is my core set of people. I mostly spend my time between my grandmother, aunts, moms, the female side of the family. The men usually were not that actively participated in the house. My dad being in police, he was always out. We would rarely see him. We never had a direct eye-to-eye contact. Still recently he passed away. So my only connection to is my female side of my family, my aunts, my grandmother, my mother. This is my village. I love the beach. This is my setting. So the lucky coincidence with me is that my dad is from the city, Mangalore proper urban area. My mom is the diametrically opposite, from a rural setting where we still grow our own rice. It is close to 22 kilometers from the city. It's close by, but still it is a distinctively very different setting. So I used to look forward to in the summer holidays, 2 months, just spend my time here, spend festivals, see things, Bhutakola, Yakshagana, get in a passive way, be active in the agricultural things. I know a little bit through my grandfather, grandmother, or uncles. They make, because being a city kid, they used to be, and I'm the eldest in the family, so I had that cooking, don't do this, don't do this. So I was kind of, taken care in that way. Yeah, that is my youngest cousin, but we used to do the same. You know, when go bonkers when you go to the native place, because the city was a boring thing. You have yeah, a lot of things to spoil you, but these are the things which we never had. This is the Pejawar Mutt, the Udupi Mutt. The Swamiji is from our village. The village is called Pejawar. So one of the Pejawar Mutt, Vishwatirtha Swamiji, he's from the village. So that is the mutt. And this things doesn't have any boundaries. The entire village is your playground. So you can move around, climb trees, or see snake, not to get scared. Grown up with calves, buffaloes, dogs, chicken stocks. So everything was part of that entire grown up things. That is Pilivesha. The middle photo is our Daiva that is in the house. We always have that distinction of everything is divine around you, and you approach life through that perspective of things. Yeah, during monsoons, when the season is off, Yakshagana artists have to find their way of living. So they used to do this mobile moving theater. They used to go to each house and they'll tell that tomorrow they'll come to your house. So you have to do a small preparation for their welcome, and they'll do on 15 minutes small prasanga. They'll pick a thing and they'll do a small prasanga in front of you, and you have to give them rice, coconut, or money, or whatever you can afford. They'll collect the thing and they'll go. So this used to happen every some monsoons. So you used to see this artist, always humble, very good at what they do. When they remove their attire, you don't know who they are. They just vanish. Just get evaporated into the environment. When they dress up, you just see them popping out of thin air. So I love this. I'm since childhood I had a thing of clicking photos. My uncle had given me small roll things, so you have to be sure what you click, not the present thing that you keep clicking everywhere. So I had that thing since childhood to click photos of performative arts, and just be around this artist. Just sit next to them and see, okay, now this is the person. I don't know him, but when he switches or dress, that character, the Devi, the Mahishasur. So for me to just observe that, one crazy magic used to happen. They used to sit for like 2 hours to become a Mahishasur. That is on the bottom right. You require good 2.5 hours to get into that attire. Gunny bag, clothes, makeup, home makeup. And thing about Yakshagana is that is a art form that you need to know singing, you need to know dancing, you need to know acting, you need to do your own makeup. Compared to something like Kathakali, you have someone to dress you up. But in Ekshagana, it is a very distinctive art form where they need to do everything on their own. So I used to just sit next to them and just see, okay, cool, this is so nice for a couple of hours. The mela used to happen outside. So this is the big tent for all the artists to sit. And I used to just sit and observe them, how they dress up and things. The middle one is a Bhutakola. This is happening in our own house. So every 1 year, you have this ritual where the entire family get together and invoke the deity. This was my life, which I recall and fondly remember. Whatever we lived, the conscious mind doesn't absorb or gather everything. Whatever we are at that moment are focused or creatively engaged, the mind is able to store that and at the right moment release when you require. Okay, so this is what I recall fondly. The bulk of my life I lived in my dad's house. This is only 2 months, 2 3 months, or between the festivals I used to come. So for example, in a year I would have stayed here, say 90 days, 90 to 100 days. But this is fondly clear, crystal clear. I can still recall and I can get goosebumps. That is so evident and clear because I was there. I was actively present when that was happening, and I was interested in it. So the mind becomes a sponge. It just keeps collecting and storing in the back of the mind. And when you want to create it, it just gives you. So this is the fond memory of me. So I was a creative being from child. I used to like to do different things. Whatever I am interested at, whatever keeps my attention, I used to give 100% that. So I was to be active in sports. I used to play 5 different sports in school. Not good at everything, but I was in a team. Cricket, volleyball, kabaddi, kho ball badminton. So I was in the school teams. I used to be one guy who used to like surge you to call, hey, play one sport or don't get into all of this. But I used to love that. So my active things before till second PUC was I was good at sports and I used to love seeing these things. My music then was only fed through television and radio. This curated, controlled music, only Bollywood film songs. I hardly knew any Western song. I used to know, I still know all Kannada songs of 80s, 90s by heart. When if you play me now, that memory just comes back. So one of my professors, when everyone in Bangalore wants to go become a banker or an engineer or a doctor, the others don't exist, or you are average. So these three professions are the kind of pillar stones of Mangalore's. Yeah. So I didn't want to do that for some reason. It didn't connect with what I do. So one of the professors said, "You're creative guys, just try something like architecture or get into journalism. You talk well and things like that." I'm like, okay, what is architecture? Because none in the family. There's no one I had reference to. I got in touch with my cousins who were working in Bangalore or Bombay and all. They're like, they do buildings or something like that. So I'm like, okay, chill, let's try that. I was interested in that. So I started flipping magazines, whatever I get my hands on. And I thought, okay, let's try. I cracked the exams and I got into Belgaum. So some things in life, it is unplanned and a divine thing just guides you. I still don't have a clear memory. Why did I get into this? The only clarity I had that I want to do something, get into creative field. That is because engineering, being a doctor was terribly boring to me. So I found this as a thing. So yeah, landed up here. Luckily, my class was just 12 people, 6 guys, 6 girls. So being not that good in initial skill sets like drafting or articulation, the faculties gave me more attention because it was just small class. So that helped me a lot. And the collective knowledge became a good source to act, maybe like seniors, juniors, asking them. So this was fun. This is the group, we recently met for the 25th year of our department's thing, and just what a great feeling to just get in touch with these guys, amazingly creative people. The great thing that happened to me musically in architecture, that I got introduced to Western music. I didn't have a clue what is Metallica, Pink Floyd, no clue. In Bangalore, I had no access to foreign bands. My only thing was about film music. I knew film music and I enjoyed it. But I distinctly remember one of my senior, Vinay, is sitting at the bottom there. He used to have an individual room. In that time, someone to have a room for himself was like, come on, who is this guy? So he used to call this room. We're like, okay, chalo. So that time, people used to store music videos in their system. So he used to have like 100, 200 music videos, MTV music videos download. So one day I distinctly remember he played Metallica in his room, and I was like, whoa, what is this? So he kept on playing. He's like, hey, pata nahi tere ko. This is a big band. I'm like, play more. So he kept on playing, the bands like Disturbed, Pink Floyd, Jimi Hendrix. And for the first time in my life, I picked music for my own. The music which uh, connected with my frequency, I consciously picked. Because before that, all the music was fed to me through some ways. You are just sitting, the radio plays, the television plays, and you're just like a bystander, just happening around you. But this is the first time in my life I picked music for my own thing. I made my playlist. I made something for myself where I collected music when I'm working. This is my background score of my life. So the 5 years rock music became the background score, which I during work, yeah, it was amazing. So during college, I was always engaged in theater things, mad ads, skits, Even in Zone NASA or NASA, these are the student engaged events that happen, national events or district or kind of state level events. So I was always interested in the theater, the performance side of things. Even in college level, when people got things together, architecture students used to go for model making and things and all. I'm like, okay, theater. I want to go for that because there are a lot of better skilled guys in architecture to do get into model making and things. I thought I was good at this, so I always kept myself in the college also to keep that performance side of me active. So getting on stage, doing something was my forte. That is what I realized through this. In this process of 5 years, I met Seema Pai. Seema Pai is there. So 2004 is the department started. I joined architecture, and through one of these events, I went to Mangalore for the Manipal University was having a national level festival, and our college went there. And she from Mangalore, my friend said, let's go to Mangalore. And I took my bunch of friends. And serendipity, again, act of God, seriously, act of God. We went to the mall. She's coming from the mall. That story for another day. But again, I met her, and that changed again, another shift because she she gave my first guitar from her first or second salary. I don't remember which, because I couldn't afford a guitar. I couldn't go home and tell my parents get me a guitar because no one musical, no friends, no family, no one could. I couldn't even dream that I could get a guitar. There is that mind was not brave enough to give you a projection for her because through her I got my first guitar, and yeah, and that was nuts. And couple of things through her. One is the guitar, and second thing, my aspirations to come to Bangalore because she was working in Bangalore, and I had a brief stint in Bangalore. I thought I'll work there, but I got terribly bored in Bangalore. Then because she was in Bangalore, I thought, okay, could escape. Let's let's get into Bangalore. Then I searched few firms like where should I get into, and CNT Architects is somewhere I had these two firms in mind. I gave a interview and I got through. So 2010, I joined CNT. This is an amazing place. Amazing. Like, again, an act of God. Absolutely an act of God. Because when I got selected, I was like, seriously, you guys, you think I'm good enough to get here? And I was literally shocked. But to get into this firm, where are there like 40, 45 young people, amazingly creative, open, good to discuss, good to chat, good to have friends. Again, there are a lot of people who are still my friends. We stay closer to each other nowadays. We discuss ideas. But this is something where I felt for after college. One. You get to see like good films. Someone gave you a good film. Someone took you to a good concert. So a lot of people through this helped me to broaden my perspective about the world. Work was very hectic. We used to work for good 14, 15, 16 hours a day. And I was like burned out after a point. And I thought, okay, this guitar, I have to make use of some of the other ways. So I was taking my guitar everywhere I could. It was literally on my back and I used to go to office. And luckily we found other guys. Someone used to play keys, someone used to play drums, one girl used to sing. So we used to, after 6, 7, we used to like, okay, let's jam. We used to sing songs, learn chords. And at that time, friends got married. So I used to go on stage, learn songs, learn chords. So my learning of guitar became quicker, because we used to play literally every day in a sense, just as a stress buster. So work was good and post work was amazing. So we found ourselves running marathons, eating amazing food, spending all our salaries on food actually. So, so that was amazing. So just to have this uh, collective set of people whose personal interest pushed me to learn things, do things, see things differently. Bangalore as a city in itself was also amazing. So yeah, this is so. I worked at CNT for like 6 years, and after that, I thought I should take a break. I didn't know like what was the plan. I was just burned out after a point, and I was too comfortable in the office because I always gauge myself how comfortable I am. If the answer is too comfortable, then I ask myself, bro, like this is not cool, because the learning stops. I feel when that comfort is there, and in CNT after a point, I thought it's getting too comfortable here. So I decided to quit the office in 2015. 2010 to 2015, I was at CNT, and I started to work from home. In a sense, we're staying in a 2 BHK house. The one bedroom was the sleeping area, and another bedroom had my laptop. So I used to wake up, freshen up, change clothes, and go to the other room and work. So that was my routine for good 2.5 years before I set my own studio. So in this process, I because my guitar skills were good, and I was singing covers pretty cool. You give me a song, I could pick it up and play, and that was okay. Then suddenly Lalijo popped up, out of the blue, out of the blue. There's no intention to write in Tulu. There was no like bleeding heart theory of save the language. Nothing. There's nothing. It's just like uh, 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 a river just flew through me. It just shook me after the point. I'm like, okay, this song is really amazing. Okay, what should I do with that? I could write in Tulu, and I could access the thing. What I realized when I wrote the song was that with Hindi English, I used to get stuck in context. Either I used to write. तुम बेवफा निकली मैं बेवफा निकला दर्द मेरा दर्द तेरा, like it used to get, because I realized these are Bollywood songs which I heard and collected through years. So when I used to write, these only used to come to me. Okay, I'm like, come on, man, you should you can write better in a sense. So when I switched to Tulu, I could access these amazing things. What I showed you as source, I could imagine my grandmother putting me to sleep, and it was deep. It's not shallow. It's not words. Because I realized each word is like a capsule. When I say Dadima to a Hindi speaker, they'll get an exact image in your head. When I say grandmother, it is word. It is not an image in itself. I understood the power of that, because after that, literally the songs were shooting towards me. It was just my ability to focus and concentrate and gather and collect and, write these things. That was the exercise. So my architecture work, I started to see things through that, local, artisanal, skill set related things. So my work also started going bit on a earthy tones in a lot of ways. So I started my firm in 2017 after that 2 years of working at home. And I found this time to travel again to hone my skill set, because I realized, okay, we went to music festivals, which we dreamed of, want to go. So this is somewhere in Arunachal, they have a festival called Zero Festival. We went to Nagaland for Hornbill Festival. So I started spending money on these events, specifically going to music concerts across the corners of India and just experiencing this. There's no theory to it. I just figured out this is fun, going to these places and just seeing amazing artists perform. Again, performative arts are very close to me compared to film. I would still go to watch a play, because watching someone do things in a time, a human being, at that time on a stage, that is amazing to me. So this is Kasekdang. If you go to Bali, they have this amazing. Every evening they keep doing it. Yeah, still go to Rangashankara, or save money to gift myself a Metallica ticket. They came to India, and I was like, my God, this is happening to us. Me and my brother, we were just hugging each other in the whole 2 hour set. Because this is unreal. Metallica coming to India, so the ticket cost us a lot, but these are the things you earn for, in a lot of ways. And that is Thinner Ravine, one of the amazing bands. I found out through a friend. They're an Algerian band. They're a nomadic band. They're the band formed in UNESCO camps. When they are, and amazing story of this band. So they also came to Bangalore. So again, you see them perform, your heroes perform on stage, and that is, you keep gathering these things. You go back, you get better at your skill, you work harder. So watching these live acts became part of me, where any good bands are performing, I made it a point that I go there and see them. So slowly I started to muster courage. So this is a general progression. My initial YouTube videos, if you go, or Instagram videos, I used to put on lamp in the corner and hide my face and used to sing these songs. Whatever songs I have written, I used to record them, sing them, and post them on Facebook and YouTube. So I used to get, 5 views, someone liking it, someone is saying, "Hey, I can't see your face." Still, because I was not confident. It is just putting myself out to the world. Because you have the song. I used to sing to Seema. I used to say, "Hey, amazing, this is very good. You have to do it more." So yeah, that is one person I had always conscious. She used to give me feedbacks, and I found this little courage to put it out. After that, the Bangalore has a great thing about open mics, where you get 5 minutes and you pay a ticket and you show up and you do your thing. Whether you're a stand-up, you're a singer, you're a dancer, anything. You just go there, perform things and come. So I slowly, from dark, I got to put myself in light and record these videos, put on Instagram. Then I started going to open mics. So open mics, yeah, they're across Bangalore. I used to travel for 45 minutes, an hour, and get this 5 minute stage, sing and come. And next day in the office, I'm like, come on, this is amazing. I found claps in these places. So I used to feel that, really good about yourself. And this top right is my first open mic. There's a place called Humming Tree in Indiranagar. And one of my friends heard me at home. He's like, "You're wasting yourself. Just go and sing and come." There's one, they have open mic every Friday. Just register and come. And I went there, like on good 20, 30 artists. I was really nervous, but I did that. The bottom left is my uncle has a theatre group in Bangalore, local Tulu, melodramatic theatre groups. So they take 15 minutes to set the stage. So I used to, before see behind, they're actually setting the stage. So when they set the stage, I used to just go sing this thing and come up. So I found this confidence to sing these songs out, slowly to different set of crowds. I used to think that, okay, I need to get myself used to different spaces. I used to sing in smaller spaces, larger spaces. These are open grounds in the left hand. These are huge open grounds. So I had this vague thought that I should get used to this space. It may be useful in the future. I don't know. Okay, something about it. So I kept on singing. I went on relentlessly. I went like close to 8 to 9 months every weekend. I used to not go home. If I used to go home also, I used to find a reason to come on a Sunday, sing this open mic, go back again. But I kept this alive for good 8, 9 months on a relentless way. Then someone in Rang Shankara got in touch with me and they said, between two plays, we need one artist to fill the space. Can you do it? And what? Rang Shankara, you want me there? Because we used to go to see plays there. I never imagined. It was never in my checklist also to just go and sing in Rang Shankara. It just came through some way, and they said, "We're looking for an artist. You're singing Tulu, no? It's pretty cool. Arundhati ma'am knows about you. She wants you to." I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I sang there 2, 3 times. They call me, yeah, 3 times. So between two plays in the foyer, they used to give me 1 hour. I'm like, yeah, awesome. And that was the first time in Rang Shankara I had an attentive crowd. But in open mics, all musicians, they don't listen to you. They are in their own act. So Rang Shankara, I got 1 hour of attentive crowd who was looking, taking notes. So after the gig, they used to call me like, "Praveen, you should do this." So try. Oh yeah, cool, cool. So that was fun. Get someone's attention for an hour for the thing what you do. That was addictive in a lot of ways, because once you get access to that you are saying something, and everyone is looking at you in attention. And like, oh, this is fun. This is why people get on stage. I figured out pretty cool. Um, yeah, so then what I did, because of my architecture background and connections, I started calling firms. Like I called Bijay, like, "Bijay, can I can I come and perform you?" Because he used to call people, or set up film screening and things. So he was very generous enough to tell, "Okay, come and do." So I did the same thing with Swapnil at Collage. And CNT also, I called people and said, "Guys, you do something, let's have a show." So yeah, I shamelessly started calling people because I gained confidence by them. So through connecting my networks, I started doing this. 1 hour shows quickly because I had songs. I had written close to 30 songs in close 4 years. So I started putting it out and seeing how people would react to that. Another skill set I honed, what consciously gave me a path to is knowing about Tulu. I didn't know much, frankly, because about Tulu, Tulu is a oral language. We have a very little written literature, and it is not taught in school. Tulu is a home language. You talk to your people at home or friends and things. But when you come to college, you have to speak in English because in school, if teacher catches you talking in Tulu, you just get one proper thing on your knuckle. So yeah, this and Tulu was always taught to be in my own mind as an inferior language. If you talk in Tulu, in Mangalore, you'll be like a chappar, I had that own image of me talking in Tulu. But through this, I went back to my roots. I studied, I understood, okay, this is not the exact thing I have in my mind. It is something very deep. So it is a beautiful thing, Tulu is spoken between Kundapur to Kasargod, Kundapur on the north and Kasargod in the south. It's a linear stretch of land. You have the Arabian Sea on the west, you have Western Ghat on the east. So it is landlocked. The language in itself is landlocked. So it was able to possible for the language to survive for 2,500 years just because of geography of it. Because to come to the land in olden time, either you have to come through the ocean or you have to get past the Western Ghats and come down to the thing. So the language had its own sort of geography and it survived there. So I started reading about books. I went to scholars. I went to people who know about the language. When grandmother used to speak, I used to hear attentively. Still my exercise is to collect Tulu words. I keep doing that. So whenever I find something new, I write it down, understand how to use it. So it became a very active way of approaching knowing the language better, not to take it granted, have that sense of pride. Now I have a different view about the language, not because I write in it, because it is an endangered language in a lot of ways. According to UNESCO's report, it is one of the endangered language because the language people who speak the language are getting reduced every generation. So I thought, okay, man, then my architecture mind came with a certain kind of brief for myself, saying that, okay, for any language to survive, art, architecture, literature are the only means to pass it forward. Okay. The one of the ways you speak at home, Tulu is more a home language that you speak at home. When you come out, you're an English person or Kannada very little. But yeah, that is the status of the language right now. How do we pass it to the next generation? You have to create now. There is no other way to pass it on. There are certain things the forefathers had created, and we are still chewing on it. Old things, getting nostalgic, older songs or older stories. There is a tradition of Pardana in Tulu. Pardana is part in Tamil. Similar thing when it comes to Tulu is Pardana. So this has been sung in ritualistic spaces or also in farming. So that culture is there of a oral culture being sung. And if you pick any oral culture, the songs are a very strong knit to it for the language to get passed on. So I connected that. I'm like, yes, I got a mission for life, I got something for myself to work for my entire life, and that's it's a great thing. So again, it's not planned. It is just over time, things just popped up to me and I'm like, okay, this makes sense. So yeah, in 2020, the 2020, the great year, I released my first single. I found courage saying that, okay, the only way to do this is to put money into this, produce it, and let's see how does that go. So my first song is called Prarthana. I'll sing it out for you. So the thing about this song is that we did a music video which traveled around the world. These are few of the music festivals we applied. We applied for 44. We got shortlisted in 11 and we won 4. So this, when you get time, just go to YouTube and check this out. The entire video was shot in a drone. So this is a prayer to God saying that, God, we have screwed it up. Please come and save us. So it is like me lying down, talking, looking to the sky and talking to the God. So that is the conversation here. I'll just sing it out for you. Akulu pandari rabat jagan kapar Urudi dada pandari Itta kopa mant dae kuldari O deva e pabar pari Akulu pandari rabat jagan kapar Urudi dada pandari Itta kopa mant dae kuldari Iren katondu enkulu mulpa kuldaye Iren sugitondu Iren lettondullaye Warabale ye tapule Warabale ye tapule Warabale ye Nodu, appaina jakelidenna tarene diodu. Irvatti jagane suttodu, irmanti gudde kaadi sudane tuvodu. Irna pudaridi nadapuna jatre giri karidi adu. Irna joklen pattuna e langu Yeah, that is fun. That is fun. So I wrote this song 3 years before I released it. Yeah, like marinating, thinking what to do, how to do. I didn't have a confidence to go to the recording room, but 2020 I found that way and found some amazing collaborators. Through this exercise, it reinforced me that you need a village, you need a good set of team to do things. You can create things at home, but once you have to put it out, you need a lot of people. It's not an individual's capacity that you can put a work. Similar with an architecture work, I can sketch and do, but to get things on site, you need a lot of help, people of different skill set to happen. So I figured out that pretty soon that, okay, I need a set of people. My only exercise is to keep my excitement that I am excited about this and keep on passing this excitement to people. And if people of the similar frequency meet, you make a team and you get things out. So if you have time, just go to YouTube and check this music video. Again, a great strength of this song. Once I released it, I could go and meet my heroes, write to them, even as architecture heroes or musical heroes. I had something to show to them, isn't it? Like, I can't keep showing open mic videos to them because it doesn't come out as good as that. So after this thing, I became like literally whoever I met. Have you heard my song? So just on YouTube, I met Raghu. He was so kind to call me his studio, listen me out, and he gave me an amazing perspective. When you meet right people, they tell you something very sharply, rudely, but to the point. Raghu asked me how much songs you have, and when I met him, I had something like 20 odd songs, and he said write 40. I'm like, why are you so rude? In my head, I'm like, okay, 20 is good, no? He's like, I got his point. When he said 40, because if you write 40, you can write 100. It is easy to jump. He said, don't be an artist who write one or two songs and release one or two songs, then feel good about it. He said he gave me a track saying that good artists, when they want to release an 8-song album, they write 30, 40 songs. And out of that 30, 40 songs, they filter and they make 8 to 9 songs. He gave me that clarity. I'm like, whoa, a lot of work. And that was good. That was good because I needed at that time because I was getting comfortable again because I had written 20 songs. Like, cool, man. 20 songs. I know how to write songs. But he gave me perspective, very sharp. He gave me very clear. Arundhati ma'am, she saw me performing and he said, Praveen, don't say So she saw me, she gave her time, whatever that is. She gave me her attention. Because I reached out to her, she gave me that clarity of how to speak because she's from a theater background. She told me that Praveen, your pronunciations are not right. I'm still working on it, but it is there back of my mind. She gave me something as a performance artist to work with. Open your mouth, speak clearly. She gave me some examples to work with. So amazing tool. And rest of things are all I wrote to Rakshit Shetty, saying that, and he so generously put out in his Twitter account this song, and I got a lot of traction because of that. I wrote to Vinu Daniel, I wrote to Sami Patora, all my favorite architects, just send it to them, just DM them, and they saw, they responded, and like, oh, this is so awesome. I got picked up slowly. Things start moving because I am the only artist who is doing in the language, and in a contemporary way. People found interest in what I do. So there is something in Indian Music Experience Museum. They had an indie weekender where they picked 5 artists, and I was one of them. And the rest of the guys were all Hindi English artists. I'm the only guy who was doing in a regional language. That gave me amazing traction because once I went there, sang there, I had the opportunity to meet the band from Soratma. They are actually my guiding force now. They are mentoring me, trying to guide me through this maze. So I met them there. They saw me perform. They said, "Okay, there's some worth to what he's doing." So magazines started to pick me up, writing articles on things. Then I found a way to release another song in 2023. It's called Ninna Suttaya. You can go and check it out on YouTube. Seema Pai has done a great Madhubala acting. You can go and check it out. So again, constraint, what we could do with ourselves, we shot at home. Because of the architecture background, I understood how to make sets, and this is all our home wall. So this was a single frame shot on a wall, and we had 36 scenes. So every scene you need to change everything out. So I figured out screenplay writing. My friend Luke, who's the director, he does a lot of short films and ad films in Bombay, so he knows the process. So I sat with him. He made me understand how to write scripts, how to make a binded scripts, and me and Seema figured out how to do sets. She's amazing with decor, and my understanding of sketching, doing things. It was handy when we're doing a music video because there is no crew. You do everything what you can. And that was a great help. So check this out. This also is pretty cool. We shot in 3 days. There's an artist called Kehan. He did the painting for the video. So that painting keeps changing in the music video. So we had close to 12 different paintings, which keeps on changing, and the last frame is a completed painting. So yeah, now I was in a mature state where I could understand my source, I could understand my skill, the pros of the source, the limitations of the source, my skill set, what I was possible, what I could do. And yeah, at that moment, I realized that in 2023, I formed Alokuto. Because I realized with me just singing, I can just get a kind of a stage. And I was not cool with that because after a point, you want to, express to a larger audience or larger stage because I knew in me that this song has a larger audience. If I restrict it, it will be there. The moment I expand or see it in a larger lens, it will grow. I understood that my skill sets were, and me being a solo indie artist, it has its own limitations. Then I thought, okay, let's form a band, and I wanted to form a band where everyone has an equal stake. It's not through me. I may be a person who is writing in Tulu lyrically, but I had a vague idea that whatever the credits of the creation goes to everyone. I didn't want to create a band where someone comes and goes and things, which was not my way of seeing the band. So the Alva Kuto, when I thought of a name, there are a lot of people who have like collaborative projects like Raghu Dixit Project, Vasu Dixit Collective, Nandan Collective. So there is this collective project coming to it. I didn't want that one more thing to that. So I started searching in the word in Tulu. So in Tulu, there's a word called Kuto. Kuto is a group or a collective or people who have gathered. That's called a Kuto. Again, this is called Namma Kuto, Enna Kuto. Like this is part of a gathering. So that sounded a bit Japanese to me, Alva Kuto. There's some ring to that. And it's pretty cool. So I bounced out to people who don't know the language. They're like, hey, it sounds cool. And okay, sounds cool, cool. 2 syllables, nice. Okay, pretty cool. So we started working on a logo. So this is this is a logo designed by my friend Nilima. So I had a brief to her saying that powerful, drawable, that it should be recognizable when you have that. Great logos have this sense of iconic thing to it. That and also if you pick an Adidas logo, it has 3 lines. You can draw that. So there's a sense of drawability to a logo. So I told her that, and my surname Alva comes from a dynasty called the Alupa Kings. Alupa dynasty ruled Mangalore, that belt, for 1,200 years. That is one of the longest serving dynasts in India and South Asia, South Asia also. Alupa, Alva, we come from same dynasty. So they had this emblem of fish, 2 fishes, and a chhatri. So for the lack of budget, we fixed 1 fish. Okay, one should be enough. So we did this. So in all their coins and things, you have this fish emblem everywhere. So I found it as a good connect to go back in a sense in history and have that reference to them in some ways and build a narration through that we want to rule for 1,200 years. So, but it is a good reference to pick from. So I told my friend that it has to be a fish, it should be drawable, and it should be centric in some ways. That when you see it, it should have like a sense of center to it in a sense. So everything is coming to a center, or so she did an amazing. She did close to 40-50 different variations of fishes doing different things, but we came down to that after like 3 months of work. So yeah, that is what it is now. Earliest member of a band, Abhilash Sheth. Abhilash is a fantastic musician. Like, he's a Hindustani vocal artist. Since age of 5-6, he has indulged himself in learning Hindustani vocal, and for some strange reason, he's picked up bass. And the kind of things he does with bass, with the Hindustani vocalist mindset, it's mind-boggling. That he's one of those rare artists, again, source and skill, of a very well-trained, disciplined source of honing a Hindustani vocalist voice, and also have an inclination to Western music. Of his things are Daft Punk, Dua Lipa, Metallica, same references of this, Red Hot Chili Peppers. So he's one diverse guy. Bhimsen Joshi, Slipknot, same day. It's my kind of thing, because I am the same guy who listens to all spectrum of music. So I found Abhi, and he's just fantastic. You should see him perform. So in the composition, we use his skill set of alaps, of singing, sargams in between. Not all songs, but few songs where we feel that this elevates the song. Macha comes in, just belts the thing out. Anshuman Upadhyay, he's born in UP. For some reason, he came to Bangalore. His mother was a teacher, and he lost his father a bit early, and they decided to come to Bangalore. He's a self-learned drummer. He didn't went to classes at all. He remembered his early days as whatever he gets, he used to do this as child, spoons, sticks on the table, on the drum. So that is his memory of him picking up drums. He's not a percussion guy. He cannot play things with hand, but with sticks, he can, So he's one of the first band member I reached out to in the open mics. In my open mic days, he had a band and they used to come to open mics. And I distinctly remember one open mic. Didn't have a good day. I think, so I'll chuck this day. But something in me like, chalo, I'll go. And that day I met Anshu. And I saw him perform. I'm like, crappy band, good drummer. Pretty cool. And he was always in my mind. Like, I didn't have a thing about forming a band or anything, but he suddenly came out of the band. He was amazing. The kind of things he used to do with that band, I thought he could be awesome. So when I decided to form a band, first mate I reached out is Anshu, and Anshu saw me at open mics and also that indie music festival at Indian Music Experience. So he saw me there. He's like, bro, I was supposed to reach you out because I thought if you need a drummer, I was thinking that I'll write down to you. Again, karma, we just met. Siddharth Pradeep, fantastic guitarist, amazing. You give him an instrument, anything, if it sounds, he'll make it sound. Very natural, very intuitive, creative, imaginative mind. He has his own project called Time Ships. You can check it on Spotify. Amazing songwriter himself. So his ability to songwrite, he can write songs himself, brought another dimension to the band. He can think sections, he can think compositions, he can write solos. I could tell that Sid, this needs a 6-bar solo, and he used to just come up with solos like going to a grocery shop. He just come up with robos. So he's also an amazing guy. So none of them know Tulu. I am the only source which connecting them. So I just tell them, guys, this is the mood of the song, this is the vibe, this is the story behind the song, and we just sit and create. I don't think about the larger picture of the song. My thing is the vibe right? And if it is going off, I tell them, no, it may not be right because technically I'm not that good. These three guys are just amazing. So I let them be, let them contribute. Whatever comes through their skill set, their source, we are making a collective which is beyond larger than me. So my job with Alokoto is stay away, not to come between the song. That is my exercise now because the moment I interfere, the song is little because my understanding is my skill is little. So the toughest part and the must part of the exercise now is keep myself out of the band, slightly move out and see what we create as a group. So this is the first gig we did. This was somewhere here in JP Nagar. We funded, we put all the equipment, we spent around 20,000-25,000 just to a small room like this. We also didn't know what we were getting into. And this is how it began. The first gig, we were like packed, this sort of room was packed. There were like 3-4 artists also. We were like a end act. So this was fun. So once we did this, we found, guys, you have to keep doing this more. This is fun because I was playing alone or with someone playing cajon. When I play with a band, it is like I connected to my sports days, when I used to play team sports, this is the exact feeling I used to get because I was never part of a school band or a college band. These guys were. They played in college school bands. But playing in a music band, I got a connection to that sports feeling again, where your collective, skill set brings you up, elevate you. So I was like, beauty, this is back to school again. So we did this slowly, gradually, curating our own shows, putting money to this, advertising, marketing. We learned how to make our own gigs, book a space, find funds, see that, call people, Instagram, bug them, say that come, you're fun and all that. So once people started attending to our gigs, it was fun, and something amazing happened in last year, October. We opened for Thaikudam Bridge in Bangalore. So bizarre, again, absolute bizarre. There was Thaikudam Bridge, there was Takra, and there was another Devatsi. There is one band called, that's the name. So so there's this 3 bands, they're big bands, huge band. Okay? And we got a call saying that there's one spot, you guys interested? I'm like, okay, so let's do this. And we thought we'll get a first slot because they were much senior bands than us. Luckily, we got some divine thing. We got a slot just before Thaikudam Bridge. my God, I still like, can't reel from that. And we were good. We were good. I am not, you know, I'm not hiding that fact. The kind of expressions we saw in Mangaloreans, saying that, okay, what is this? Because they have never heard the language in this form at all. And our creative exercise is to put an old language in a new form. That is our exercise. Simple. We have a old language which has its own sort of weightage, and how do we make it contemporary? That is our exercise. And this was a great feeling. Playing to close to 3,000 people on stage, mostly people from home. They understand the language, and I understand my skill set is writing. I can convey. And the first time people understood the lyrics, and I was like, oh God, this is so nice. It's so cool. Like we taught them song parts to sing out. They sang out. 45 minutes was dreamland. We thoroughly enjoyed ourselves, and this gave us courage. So last year we played close to 10 gigs in different sort of scales, from a bigger stage to smaller stage, spaces like this. We got featured in a few of the magazines and things. And the best part is that we got a core set of audience. Any band, you ask them, they focus on a core set of people, a good 5,000, 10,000 people who could turn up anywhere you go. And anywhere we play in Bangalore now, this set of people come back to listen. And the strangest thing to us to observe is that 90% of the audience don't understand Tulu at all. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And they're just responding to us. And the thing about our music is that it's a storytelling thing. We tell them a story, tell that there's a song about this, there's a song about the ghost, there's a song about the grandmother, there's a song of the village, there's a song about the food. And people connect to that. And what I realized is that when I'm singing and I tell this is a song about a grandmother, you are not thinking about my grandmother, you're thinking about yours, right? And that is a beautiful thing because you imagine it, I sing it, and you connect that song through your source. You're running your grandmother in your head or your village in your head, and when the song is playing, that's in the background and it's refreshing your memories. And I connected that, to a point that once you give audience that experience to imagine, there are few things that we engage today that makes us imagine. Most of things, it's numbing our mind. Whatever we see, it's not engaging us anymore or not creatively exciting us or tickling us our brain. Our music has a essence to it where it makes you imagine in a crowd, and people stay focused with us for an hour. And it is good for them also because most of the time we are not focused at one thing for an hour. And our music gives our audience that they are like, oh, nice, this is fun. We are dancing, our body is moving. We got audiences in the stage who comes and like, I have not danced like this for ages. I don't know what you're saying, but my body is involuntarily moving us. So that is pretty cool. So we have this beautiful set of people who keep coming to different set of Bangalore that wherever we perform. And this is four of us. That is Sima Pai. She's picked up our artist management manager role now. So she's doing this in most of her gigs, putting things and, following up, writing emails. So we found a team, five of us, because whoever we talked to, they said, find a manager who's close to you. And I couldn't find anyone closer to me than Sima. So she understands, she can picture us perfectly, to any event guys. And yeah, this is what we got into ourselves. So at present, I have two projects musically going on. One is Praveen Alva, which is an experimental side of things where I want to put Tulu in different genres. I might do a dance music thing. I may do hip hop. I may do different things. So this is the music I hear, and I want to produce it in Tulu as much as possible in a solo project. And this is a project as Alok Huto as a band. This is four of us. Our collective knowledge, our collective interest, mostly rock, pop. We call ourselves an eclectic folk band. The meaning of that is that our source of the music is from different genres. We don't bind to genres. If you come to one of our shows, you may connect what I'm talking about. So we have different moods, we have different rhythms, we have different stories, we have different genres, and this all come together. So yeah, this is the two things I get into. And recently, as my solo project, I released 4 songs as an EP. EP is an extended playlist. So if you release one song, it is called it's called a single. If you release more than 7 songs, it's called an album. So if you release anything between 1 and 7, it's called an EP, extended playlist. For the lack of budget, I could afford only 4 songs. I said, okay, let's do these 4 songs as international standard as I can. Okay, so this entire album is EP is called Neer. Neer is water. So this all 4 songs are different sounds of water. The first song is called Kadal Poya. Kadal Poya means ocean and the sand, which is like a beach song. The second is called Posaponu. Posaponu is a new bride. This is a bride coming to a home on the backwaters. So this song has that reflective thing to it. The third song is called Barsa da Ratra. That means on a rainy night. So that song has a thing about night and it is raining. So if I don't tell you much, when you hear it, you'll feel it's night and it's raining. That is the thing. The last song is called Kadalanchi Sukha Unduga. That means there is pleasure across the ocean. So since civilization, people have been going across the sea to Bombay, Dubai, Qatar, lot of migrants across the ocean, thinking that there's a better life around across the ocean. So this song is on the boat. I'll play this song. So imagine yourself on a boat or a larger vessel like a ship, and imagine a young guy who is traveling across the ocean. So we'll just listen to this song. I love, no da I love, no da I love, no da I love, no da eh, eh, eh. Suka unduga puttina illanu budiya dattina kandanu marya kadalanchi suka unduga sankranti dani manchada mittu eridipere sanadiga ಆಲೇನು ತಿಕ್ಕಂಡ ಕುಲ್ಯ ಓಡೋಡು ಕಾಕಾಜಿ ಬರೆದಿತ್ತು ಶಾ ಬುಲ್ಪಾಡ ಯಾನ್ ಹೋದು ಬರ್ಪ ನಿನ ನೀಲಾಲೆ ತೊಂದು ಕೋಪ ಕಡಲಂಚಿ ಸುಖ ಉಂಡುಗ I love, ನೋಡಡೆ I love, ನೋಡಡೆ I love, ನೋಡಡೆ I love, ನೋಡಡೆ This has been the journey in a lot of ways. This is my pattern. And I feel as an artist, if we are true to the source and always keep developing a skill, there is only way for it to come out in a creative, engaging medium. So the exercise is not to involve the audience at an initial stage. Keep this conversation clear. Be true to my source of being someone from that place, and create art, and keep writing in Tulu. That is my only thing, and keep writing, going back to my source, thinking what is it, what is the good, what is its limitations, what is my conditioned mind. And through that exercise, if I become a better individual, a better musician, a better artist, and the songs will be better and better in a very natural, gradual process. And if with my bandmates who are far better musicians than me, if I let them contribute to the songs through the Alukuto project, our dream is to take this to a world stage, and we know it has every potential to do that. We have the story, we have the songs, and the only act is to get better at it. And it's a lifelong exercise. Let's see how it goes. So I would request you guys, we'll be playing across the city. If you have time, just come and because for me it's very difficult to put in words how good we are. It's very difficult because I'm not good at those. Yeah. So please come to one of our gigs, experience this. It'll be fun. So this is for your own opportunity to connect to your own memories, because our songs exactly like this. It will connect to some stories or some memories that you would carry with you. And if back home my certain kids pick up this and find their expression through their mother tongues, and we create more things in our mother tongues than falling into prey of the market that you should create in Hindi and English to reach out to a larger audience. And there's a market here, Bollywood and all that. I think it's garbage. So if someone, I found my heroes as Avial, the Malu band, Tekudum Bridge, Raghu Dikshit. There's a band called Parvaz. They write in Kashmiri Urdu language. Amazing artists. So I get drawn to these Tinarveen and the band from Algeria. These are my source of inspiration. So if we create a small beacon for someone else's to follow back home, who could pick up this, write a film or write poetries or do things, it will be awesome. So cool. Thank you so much.
I can just start off by asking about the language itself, the language of Tulu as a system. What are the challenges that you face in constructing sentences that become musical eventually? Is it because in a lot of languages, sometimes in Kannada, I feel, I don't know if it's a personal thing, but music in Kannada, when one tries to contemporize, there's a certain open-endedness. It doesn't feel complete. Or maybe it's just not done in the way that it, will sound nice. So as a language, how does Tulu sort of function in
Okay, the interesting thing about Tulu is that compared to other South Indian languages, there's something similarity in Kodwa Takku, is that we have two extra swaras, like vowels, okay? After A, A, E, we have U. Say U. U. Okay, U. A, A, E, U. So we have words like makku, andu. Makku is husk, andu is yes, attu is no. And after A, we have A. What are you talking about? A. So we have appa. Appa is a mother. So this rounds off, and this is the sound of the language. Okay. About writing, I feel writing in meter is a natural thing. If you can do it, you do it. Otherwise, you can't. There's no songwriting thing someone can teach you that. I have that. Okay. So I don't know. To specifically, I don't try to contemporize while writing. How I approach is that I do the entire musical structure first. Chords, keys, rhythms. I do la la la, na na na, da 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 towards the song till I finish the structure, and I keep writing lyrics at the end because I feel that is my core strength of things. So I didn't find any block to make it contemporary, because I feel that's a musical side of things. That's not a lyrical part of things. So my exercise is not to add a Kannada word, or not to add English things just for sake. So I want to keep it pure when I write in Tulu. So it has to be a Tulu word. So if there is a Kannada word which pops out, I find, for example, Prarthane, the first song, is a Kannada derivative. It's a Brahminical lineage of that word. Okay, but when you get it into Tulu, that word becomes Prarthana. Okay, that's the subtlety that you have to be slightly aware of it. But I don't find it difficult, actually.
I found your choice of script.
Okay. Yeah.
Why choose that script? Because you could have chosen any script.
You mean like
For the TULU script, because originally it does not come with its own
okay,
specific.
okay. The thing with there is something called as Tiglari script, which is there is a fight saying that it's a Tulu script or a Tiglari script. Hardcore fanatics feel it's a Tulu script, but researchers feel it's a Tiglari script. That's the same source for Malayalam also. So in the region, there is an active drive. There's a thing to get an eighth schedule, Tulu into eighth schedule. In the constitution, there is something called as eighth schedule, which lists out official languages of the country. And there are at present 22 languages. Tulu is still not a part of it. Very sad state, because when someone, I'm just debating just to come to a point. When you go to a survey, when someone asks you what is your mother, what do you speak, when they say Tulu, the form doesn't have Tulu to check. So they check as Kannada. Okay, so you don't know actually how many people speaking the language. So from that context or a drive to put Tulu in the eighth schedule, there is a mad thing to invent a script for the language. Not invent, reinvent or reintroduce. So they're teaching this Tiglari Tulu script, which is a bit modernized version. If someone can read Malayalam, they can read this Tulu Tiglari script also. In the region, the films, the plays, or any sort of posters, you'll see a Kannada thing and you have a Tulu thing which no one can read. It is just for one gimmick in a lot of ways. Or there's a genuine effort to put it out or make people. I also gone to classes, did this workshop to learn and things. So I'm a bit okay with that, not too fluent. But that script is being used across the region. So for me to just an overarch, just as a marketing thing or just as a representational thing, we use that. But that is an active Tulu script which is going around in the region now. So yeah. You also do the same thing, also?
Because 30 years ago, Konkani went through the same birth with the script choice.
I feel is a very trivial thing. I feel a language which is oral language has its own strengths. People don't realize it. It like, for example, Manipuri, it doesn't have a script. Still, it's in eighth schedule. People don't connect that. Why do you need a active script to make it part of an eighth schedule? But it's a larger political thing which is going around. I am just in my portfolio just to have an English subtitle, and when I release it in the local milieu, I just use this Tulu script and use that in a way.
Does it bother you that people will definitely appreciate the beats and some bits of words that they might understand? Like the first song you sang, the word kannir is, it's across a lot of South Indian languages, so you'll understand. But a lot of other things that you said, I didn't understand what it is, and there is definitely something I'm missing out as the audience. Do you think that's going to change? Are you doing anything to actively sort of...
Frankly, no. I feel because this question keeps I get suggestions. Great melody. Why don't you make this as a Hindi song? They mean well. It's not. But thing about art which I connected is that I used to dance for A. Rahman Tamil songs. Okay, Mukabla, all these things. It happening in Tamil. I'm dancing. What is the connection? I'm not understanding it. Okay. Despacito, the song got viral. Did anyone understand what is the song about? Absolutely no. Okay. So the thing about art is that it is not external. When I see an art, what happens within is the real thing. If it is external, then it is lesser art, according to me. When I see something, a painting, when I hear to a music, if that triggers things internally to me, irrespective of totally understanding what is it. Like I saw Oppenheimer, I don't know the physics behind it, but it churned so many things about, crazy guy, how did you do this? That is the inward audience have to connect. Okay. That the appreciation of art is a thing that what is it doing to me? Then am I judging this? We do the other way. We actually hear a music or see a painting, we start immediately judging that, But actually the journey is within. It just triggers something in us. And sometimes we are not comfortable in that, then we go external again. This proposition, this on scale, music, his voice is not right. You go that. It's the other way, for an audience, as such an audience. So I did two things. One is when I'm expressing, when I'm writing, I keep the audience out. It's not my thing whether they understand or not. Am I writing from a true space to create this? Second thing, as an audience, I'm correcting myself when I'm judging other thing, or when I'm consuming anything from outside. That what is it doing to me? Am I liking this? Is it doing things? So my exercise is just two things, straightforward. As an audience, I should correct myself that I am not judging, but if there is an art which is coming towards me, I am just seeing internally what is happening to me. So as an audience, I'm correcting myself. And as an artist, I am just keeping the audience out when I'm creating. So when you said Kannir, you got that word, no? So when I'm singing that, you already tapped in. There's something in you happening. My work is done. Because if I get you to that space where you have connected that word to something, there are other words which is equal to Tamil or Kannada, you will get that. But you connected that word, isn't it? That's all, man. That's all it is. So once you tap into that, you get that word, you are in your own world, and the music is background. Art is only that much. In a painting, we see an yellow and we feel, oh, we are just lost in that. You don't see an entire composition also. So the essence of art in our life is only that. Can it connect in? So I'm not too bothered who's getting it. So I do subtitles. Who wants to read, they'll do that. But my engagement is that when you heard Kadalan Chizuko, you were in the boat. That is the exercise. So yeah, not entirely bothered, but I get great suggestions that should do a Hindi version of this so that you can reach mass.
When everything is right now westernized, how do you plan on bringing something which is so core to our land to like Gen Zs, pretty much?
I recently went to an Avial show, okay? It's a Malu band. And they played 90 minutes, and the entire crowd was your age. I was there, but mostly, most chunk of it were Malu kids who have come for studies and Malu kids who have as their first jobs, somewhere between 20 to 30, 35, okay? And they sang the whole 90 minutes. I got hope in that show. Seriously, it takes time. Their first album, the only album Avial released, was 24 years back. 24 years fast forward, that crowd got it. They sang the language. They may speak English outside. In that space, they knew the entire song. I'm not even joking. 90 minutes, that band didn't need a vocalist. The crowd was singing the entire bit. So some things take time. Some things has its own sort of a cycle to it, okay? So most things we create as art or work may not be immediate. It may catch its audience 10 years, 15 years down the line. There's a marketing requirement of what we do now. If we create anything, you should blabber, talk about it. This is our exercise. So I keep doing this, podcast, doing people hear this, listen to this. So, and with time, I feel Gen Z or Gen Z plus or the next thing who's going to come, Gen A or whoever they are, they may find this relevant to their times. Or I feel the younger generations are more curious to go to their roots because they are detached. They are far away from their land. They have not seen Bhutakala. They have not been to this Ashana village. They're far, and their eagerness to be authentic or go back to their language is more. And in future, it's going to get more regional. That is my foresight to this. That once politically we are pushing everyone to be Hindi, we are putting everyone being a similar haircut, similar feel, look kind of people, and there's going to be a rebellion soon. And regional protests, I'm not say protests, a regional approach is the only way for a political shift also in this country. So languages play a big role in this. And I feel the future generation will hold on to this. So, answering to your question, we do few things as podcast and, doing these kind of events. I try to reach out to people. There's an exercise of marketing to whatever we do, good or bad. To place a right story or true story through our music is our exercise. Create quality, world-class music, because I'm not restricting it to Tulu audience at all. I want to take it to everywhere. If Westerners, I saw my Spotify audiences. I get audience from Netherlands, France. Maybe someone connected that. My friends who stay in there. So it is a global platform, because I listen to Thinner Ravine. I don't know what they're speaking to. I don't have a clue. But I listen to them. I'm in a desert, It's chilling out. It's pretty cool. So it will. So to define an audience is also a crime that I don't do. That this is my audience and this is not. The act is to only create good stuff, quality stuff, and market. Then let's see how Gen Z will take it out. Let's see.
Have people back home heard your song? How is the reaction?
Mixed, very chow chow baat. To be frank, it will take time for them, and I expected that. But it's fun. Like I tell you, where is the thing? When we get a show, they ask us, "Can you play some cover songs?" And I'm like, "Come on, we are in the Tulu speaking land. Why you need covers?" No, some people may not understand. I'm like, what are you talking about? So we are trying to pitch in colleges, a lot of engineering colleges in Bangalore. We have last 6 months, this has been job to place us there, and we get rejected most of the places. I still am like, grappling with this rude surprise which the place George got. But it's the story with every artist who trying to do this in a regional language. You ask Raghu, you ask Parvaz, they are hardly play in Kashmir. I don't know what sort of things they do. But this happens because they don't imagine the language in that way, And once we get popularity and second-tier cities, the issue is that someone has to become big somewhere else. Then they will put shawl and give you fruits and things. So that is one mentality with second-tier cities, which is okay. But yeah, I mean, very mixed. Youngsters are loving it. My mom doesn't understand. She says, "You can sing Bhava Gite." I'm like, okay. But youngsters are like they are taking it like amazingly well. They, as I said, the youngsters want to get back to their roots. So this music is apt for them in a lot of ways. So yeah, mixed, but we have to do a lot of work because we have been doing things in Bangalore, this sort of a region. We have to actively do things in Bangalore. So hopefully something soon.
So I wanted to check how much of your music do you connect to your everyday, career as an architect and back and forth? Like, how do you make sure nothing gets stale, nothing gets repetitive, nothing is eating into each other in a way that's unhealthy?
I try to subconsciously they talk, okay? Because after this, two things came to my life. I love designing. These are the two things which keeps me excited and engaged most of the day. And I started reading about other architects who do things like Le Corbusier always painted. There's a story of him. Le Corbusier is a famous French architect who, so he before he went to the Mediterranean and he got a heart stroke and he died. Before that, he painted actually. He was doing a painting, then he thought I'll have a swim. So there are people like Le Corbusier. There is Tado Ando, who was a boxer till he could effort physically do it. So I find it both communicate subconsciously. I'll give you examples. Like when I write a song, I have a brief. I literally have a page for me before I write lyrics that this is a song about this, and that discipline of architecture to write a brief before anything for yourself to set the boundaries of the creation, saying that okay, I'm trying to achieve this. So that comes into music. Through music, I connected that ideas are very fragile. If you don't document it, it's gone, or it comes as a diluted version of it. So whenever I get a melody, I record. Whenever I get an idea, I sketch and do sections, which I used to be not doing that well before. Now I understood, okay, if I don't record my melodies, it's gone. You don't recall it, or when you recall, it will be like one subgrade version of what it created version. So I keep doing these things that where each discipline sort of connects. Running a firm, I know how to write emails to clients. or to a team. So with the music, I know how to write emails professionally to the event managers in a sense, So those small nitty-gritties of things of architecture and this, and I see that they talk to each other engagedly. So I don't have a Monday for music, Tuesday for architecture. It's a flow. The only discipline I follow is that sleeping time, waking up time, going to office, coming back on a specific time. I try to wrap up by 3-4. I go early to office, come back at 3-4. Then I do my music noodling things. Certain Tuesdays, I feel okay, today I should sit at home and write something. So running an office, it gives a bit of a kind of a space for me to plan my time. But I see that it's not like work and passion and hard work and this. They're both equal to me in terms of energy and expression. So yeah, I'm keeping it like that. So people ask me, how do you do your work and passion? I'm like, what is it? There's no different words. Both are the same. Both are the same weight. So yeah, that is how I see that. Yeah. Thanks, and thanks everyone for coming on a Sunday. Thank you so much. Hope this is worth your time.